Hello Libra, my name is Paul and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we start with a Seven of Swords. This is you focused on your goals. This is you knowing what you're committed to and not being swayed, not being pushed aside by anything. That's very strong energy. This to me says that you have such an inner certainty. It's this kind of spiritual, intuitive knowledge, this gnosis, that what you're doing is right, is correct, is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, that none of these other things, none of these other daggers here can harm you, right? Nothing can distract you from your goal. Here's the Prince of Pentacles. Oh, and there's that Ace of Swords, in case we couldn't see it in that first card. A Fool and some fire energy. Oh my goodness. And the Ten of Cups. We've got the Jupiter energy with the Wheel of Fortune. We've got a Ten of Wands. This is really special. This is a happy birthday reading for you, Libra. I hope you all are enjoying your birthday season. It is a Libra season, so happy birthday to anyone who has their birthday today, but to all Libras, happy birthday. And now we're going to select one card for our mystery card. This is just a random selection from the Waite-Smith or Smith-Waite Tarot. We'll put Mr. Ed right on top. We're not going to look at this card until the very end, Libra, so don't even ask. I know it's your birthday, but we have to wait until the end of the reading, so stick around, okay? We're going to do something different. If at any point during the reading you get a sense, an idea, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to type your answer into the comment section. I want to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations, if we can tap into source, tap into spirit, and start discerning this card together, okay? But first, let's look around the room. First thing I notice is that the only major arcana card we have is this Fool. And this Fool just happens to be the name of a very funny TV show. I don't know where it is, if it's on Hulu maybe. It's called This Fool. Very, very funny. We have the Fool energy, but we don't have any other... Oh, wait. I almost forgot about this one. How could I forget about the Wheel of Fortune? You know? How could I forget about this? We have two major arcana cards. So not only do we have the Fool, but we have the Fool kind of stumbling into some very wonderful, abundant success, prosperity. This is kind of, these two together, man, I could just do a reading based on this. It's kind of like this Fool is this wild and free energy, not self-conscious, just experiencing, kind of wandering, right? It's spontaneous. It is just kind of fueled by the spirit. It's just swept along by the wind, right? And when it comes into this kind of prosperity, this kind of success, it's almost a surprise, right? It's almost like I never expected this, you know? We're just out here kind of experiencing life, not having too many cares or concerns, not having too many worries, just doing what we do. And bang, there's happiness, there's success, there is the pot of gold, there is the jackpot, and it's kind of a nice little bonus. We weren't expecting it. It's the universe saying, surprise, right? We thought it was just the Fool. No. Surprise. There's all of this abundance. There's all of this prosperity. And It just so happens that this Jupiter energy, this Wheel of Fortune, is in the position of your general energy. So this is what this Fool is kind of wandering into. And this is extraordinary. There's a lot of happiness in your future. We have a 10 of Cups here at the end, right? That is perfect happiness, health and wealth and strength and joy and peace. True happiness, perfect happiness. And that is amazing. And that's at the end of the path of the serpent. So that's what you are ultimately finding. We stumble into this success, this wonderful opportunity, this prosperity. This was a surprise. This was a major event in our life. But then we realize that it's creating so much more for us. So I don't know what this opportunity is going to be, but you're going to be very, very happy. Now, we start with this 7 of Swords. This is you committed to your ace. You, I think, are gaining this insight into your purpose, into what you're meant to do in this life. And that is kind of enough for you, right? The fact that you have this purpose and you are sticking to it, you're staying the course. Nothing is going to push you. No matter how hard the wind blows, you're staying straight ahead. Okay? Because you have this Ace of Swords. And this, I think, is happiness enough in some ways. Just knowing that you're doing your will, knowing that you are every day kind of waking up and you're excited to be here. You're excited to do what you do, whether you're an artist, a student, whether you're raising a family, building a home, building a business, whatever it might be. If you're involved in the community, if you have whatever. Just getting up and doing that and knowing that every day you're recommitting yourself to your path. Well, that's some really, really beautiful and strong energy. We see a Prince of Wands up here at the top. This is kind of the excitement that we look forward to every day, waking up knowing that we know ourselves, we know our truth, we know what we're supposed to be doing with our life. We have found our will, and our will is one. Nothing can distract us from that. We're staying on our course. And we're excited to do it. Fire and earth. We're excited for what we're creating. Just the work itself is kind of its own reward, right? But on a spiritual level, we're having so much fun, really, and joy and wonder and curiosity just being alive. Right? This is pure air energy. We don't realize that we're stumbling into a gold mine, right? Spiritually speaking. I think also physically, financially speaking, we have the earth cards here. This is almost like we spiritually stumble into a gold mine, and it turns out the further in we get, there's more gold. There are more jewels, rubies, diamonds, sapphires, right? We realize that the further we get into this, we're experiencing more and more and more success. Now, this doesn't have to just be about money. I'm not saying that money is the only thing that makes you happy. No, I'm saying the opposite of that. I'm saying that you're happy to wake up and know that the work you're doing is making a difference for people, that you are manifesting your truth, your will, your purpose, right? We're excited to get up and do this every day. The fact that we're stumbling, the path of the serpent here is where this gold mine is. Over here, we're just full. We're just enjoying it. We're not self-conscious. We're not worried. We just feel inspired, right? We just feel inspired. The fact that we're stumbling into the success and the gold mine and the prosperity is kind of icing on the cake, all right? Now, with all of this fire and this air energy, I think that you're really focused on communicating your desires, communicating your will. right? When some other energy comes in to try to distract this Fool from this path that you're on. Now, you might not even feel like you're on a path, right? Because the Fool is kind of in some ways aimless wandering, right? I think you've discovered your path. And now the Fool is not so much the Fool anymore. Now the Fool is the sage. And speaking of that, because we have a Fool card, we have to do an I Ching card. Okay? And the I Ching will tell us if we're being too much Fool or too much sage. 48, the well. I always talk about the well, but haven't actually got the hexagram here in a while. The well. Moving the city, not moving the well. Without loss, without gain, they come and go. The wells. Almost reaching, but the rope does not yet draw water from the well. Breaking one's clay jug is a pitfall. So the well is the Ace of Cups, right? And this is kind of the well here, too, the 10 of Cups. Or this is what results from us drinking from the well. And the well is our deepest desire, our spiritual desire, our purpose, right? What we feel, it's our heart, it's the core of us, it's the source, it's the spirit. It's the well, that the well always remains the same, but the details around it may change. The city might change, but the well does not. The well, the spirit, the source of all nourishment and joy and life, keeps on giving. Just water, water, water. Time is not relevant here. Space is not relevant here. Civilizations rise and fall, but the well is just constantly giving. The source is just always there to nourish, right? And that's kind of the Fool here. The Fool, through all of the wanderings of the Fool, the cities change, the clothes change, the activities change, the interests, the jobs change, right? The careers, the interests, the passions, they all change. But what you're discovering is that there's something in all of that wandering that has never changed. That is the Ace. That is spirit. And it's the well is the Ace of Cups, but that's translating into an Ace of Swords, which means that it's coming into your mind as understanding. Okay? You're starting to think about it in your mind, you know? And I think that's why we have this path that we're on now. We've discovered that well, and now we're basing all of our actions on this path, okay, moving in this direction. And I think we have to be very careful with our communication to make sure that we, that we don't entertain any bad ideas, right? These little swords here are trying to test the strength of our Ace of Swords. We're carrying this Ace of Swords. These other little daggers just want to kind of spar with us to see what we're made of. Okay, so we're seeking inspiration, we're seeking resonance, but we're not going to entertain any bad ideas. We're sticking to our path no matter what. Okay, and we have to communicate that. And here is that 10 of Wands. This is in our future. This is us kind of understanding that we might have to just carry this whole burden ourselves. That we might have to go our own way if we need to, and that's all right. You know, that's okay. Because this card, at least in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it shows one person holding all of the wands, right? All of the staffs, big bundle of wood, head down, and just moving forward, right? Doesn't need to look around because it knows where it's going. They know where they're going. They're carrying all the weight themselves, and they know where they're going. They don't need to look around for signs. They don't need to listen for directions. They don't need to hear other opinions. They don't need to share or ask for help. They're just doing it all themselves. So to me, what this card is talking about for you is the need, if there is a need. You're more than capable of doing this on your own. You don't need anyone else. It's nice to share the load with somebody should that situation arise. But you're more than capable of going your own way and doing your own thing because you know what that thing is, right? So the Ten of Wands is very important here in this future position. Right? It's saying let's not sacrifice our path, right? This is all singular. It's one sword. Here we have two in the front. It's kind of saying, do you need to share the load with somebody? Well, in this case, I think we're trying to stick to our ace. We don't need to kind of split that into two. Maybe it's kind of talking about a codependence or something like that. This is our ability to say, no, we don't need to share. We can stay, it's kind of there are benefits. There are pros and cons to getting involved in a partnership of some kind, right? It might make some things easier, but then it's going to make some things kind of a little bit less good, right? It's a compromise. Compromise is when both sides kind of sacrifice something to get something else that they want or need, right? I don't think there's anything you want or need enough to sacrifice any of your independence in this situation, okay? And I think that is how you're going to wander, right? And now, I don't think anything's random. I don't think the Fool is really wandering. I think just to our conscious mind, maybe we just feel like we stumbled in here, but it was meant for you all along. I want to make sure that's clear. It was meant for you all along. It may feel unexpected. It may feel like we just kind of stumbled into it. This Jupiter energy. Very abundant, very lucrative, very profitable. And in our environment, the Three of Pentacles, this is you understanding the process of creation on the physical plane. This is you understanding how much you need to do to take advantage of this gold mine that we're stumbling into. Well, now you got to do the work to extract the ore and refine it and all that stuff. And this, again, it's something, if you're doing this independently, you've got to do every aspect of it. You got to do the creative stuff and the business stuff, right? You're the head of every department here, right? So in the future, we can come back to revisit the Ten of Wands and see, well, do we need to delegate a little bit? Do I need to hire somebody maybe, or get involved in some kind of a partnership to share some of this extra work to kind of, to get some help? But the reminder here with the Ten of Wands is don't give anybody else a controlling share of your work. Even 50-50, too much authority to the other person. It has to be at least 51-49, right, for you to keep the majority control over your life. Okay? I know it's a silly analogy, but it's important. It's important for us to make sure that we stay in control of things, right? That we hang on to the decision-making authority. Okay? Because there's a lot of work to do now to reach the 6. And this is the material success. This, I don't know if it's a business, if it's just your home, personal life, career, family, something creative, something in terms of your education or a community project, a community organization, a church, temple, lodge, some kind of a spiritual thing. Whatever you're doing is going to be very, very successful. Okay? And it is something that involves other people, because with a 6, we have the idea of a group, a harmonious group. It's everybody who gathers together for a common purpose. Okay? But you still have to maintain the authority. Don't give away that majority influence or anything. So we've got this 6. And maybe the 6 of Pentacles is in the position of what we don't want, because there's part of us that is kind of reluctant to maybe share, because we have this independence, right? So it kind of has given me a feeling like we know there's going to be a collaboration but we kind of don't want it. We don't want to give up the independence. Well, that's why we got the Ten of Wands here, to show us that we can have this group thing. It can be a collaborative effort. It can be an organization of like-minded people, but we can still stay independent, right? We still stay in control of whatever this might be. And I think once you realize that, then we can get to this Ten of Cups, perfect happiness. Maybe the only thing preventing the perfect happiness was the idea that we might have to give up some of our autonomy, give up some of our independence, that we might have to do too much compromising, or that we would fall into a kind of codependent situation. We want to stay inspired by our work. We want to continue doing what we do. And we don't want to give up that feeling, right? So we get to the Ten of Cups at the very end. This is so much happiness. And I'm so happy that we have this at the end of the reading, at the end of the Path of the Serpent, because it says all roads are really leading you here to your perfect happiness. True wisdom and perfect happiness. Now let's look at the mystery card. I'm curious about this one too. Nothing really came to me while we were doing these other cards, so let's all try to connect. Let's all try to raise our vibrations and see what this card could be. Well, maybe it'll be the well. Maybe it'll be an Ace of Cups. Oh, you know what else? Since we have a Seven of Swords here, I forgot to do the affirmation card. Now, I got some different affirmation cards. The first time I'm using them. It's a little gift to you for your birthday month. It is botanical inspirations. So it still has the same kind of flower images, but just a little different message, I think. So anytime we get a 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 of swords, we need to do an affirmation card, a botanical inspiration card. So we're just going to try one today for our 7 of swords, okay? I make these little rules for the channel. I have to at least follow them, right? Makes it kind of fun. I've never used these before. This is going to be really nice. Oh, that's the one. That is the iris. Rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Interesting. So it's kind of, finding the silver lining. It's no matter what is going on around us, we are finding our purpose, it's kind of like this Ace of Swords, right? Even when there are clouds and storms all around us, we're finding our guiding principle, we're finding our truth, we're finding our Ace of Swords. And that is kind of exactly what we were talking about here with the 7 of Swords, which is why we are doing the botanical inspiration anyway. So we have this idea that no matter what tries to distract us, no matter what else is going on around us, we're holding fast to our message, to our rainbow, to our star, to our starlight, to our purpose. This is very nice. I love that. This is a pretty card. I'll show it to you again. This is a very lovely card, and hopefully they will make their way into a more regular appearance here on the show, because I find them to be very beautiful and very poignant for this particular energy that we're talking about. Okay, so we've got rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. When things are trying to distract you, when things seem like they're getting off course, let's look for our central truth. Let's find this core message, this core purpose, okay? And now let's find the mystery card. Gosh, I don't know. I'm I kind of am just thinking another 10 of cups, right? I mean, I don't know what else we might need. Maybe we need some air energy, though I don't want any more air energy. I think we need a 10 of cups. I think we just need a reinforcement of this final idea that we had about true happiness, perfect happiness, right? So that's what I'm thinking. You have your answers in. Okay. Oh, well, I was close. I think I'm going to try to hold the cards in the middle there like that. I was close. It's not a 10 of cups. It's a 9 of cups. And you know what? 9 of cups is actually better. Because the key word for the 9 of cups actually is happiness, right? The key word for the 10 of cups is satiety. We're being full. We've had enough. Don't want any more. Maybe we don't actually want to get there. Maybe we like to be a 9. We like to still be hungry so we can still experience the joy of what we're doing. When we've had enough, we've become full. We don't want any more food, right? So it's kind of like the enjoyment is over, right? When you become sugar, you can't taste sugar. When you've had so much that your taste buds are kind of exhausted, there's no point to continue. It doesn't taste good anymore. Maybe we need the 9, because the 9 is an ongoing process. It's a 9. It's an odd number. It's a function. The function of living your happiness, right? The happiness that keeps on happying rather than finishing and being done. I don't want anymore. No, this card says you want more. More, 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 more. This is good. This to me is the perfect generation of happiness, the ongoing happiness. And this is the perfect confirmation card. You've got a really great life. I'm very happy for you. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. And new Libra readings come out every Wednesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching this reading all the way through until the end. That really makes the algorithm happy, and that makes the channel grow and reach more people, and that kind of makes me happy. Okay. I want to remind you, Libra, that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together. Happy birthday.